Vanguard.
Knowledge born.
Yeah.
United front.
Tell it.
What you want, what you want, what you want.
To the Knowledge Radio.
We in here. What you got? Dot.
Work hard as a slave to one day be your savior. The wave unwavering. This is a labor of love. Rise with a purpose every day. Invigorated. If we were on TV, we'd be 10 times syndicated. If we waited for validation, a paycheck or accolades, we'd be starved, already lost or ran away. But when you're square, solid, and you circle too, you don't need a place for silence. The concept is conquered through media, not areas of people activity. A mix that don't lose ethnicity, tightness that don't lose elasticity. Explicitly, this isn't where we give the novice regard. Nah, this is where knowledge is born. Last time that I checked, I'm undefeated. Deliver edicts, can't resist when the gods build and manifest freedom. When lines get crossed, they may push a loss, cause they get handed a check. We kick a can and cancel your cancerous gestures. A prophet vision, precision, the prescription for the sickness is to inoculate your fate with the winning. Arrogant beginnings turn to humble endings. And UF with KBA is a win-win. 1K, 1K.
All right, peace and love, peace and love. Welcome to another episode of Do Knowledge Radio, place where knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Online. I just got to take a deep breath, okay? I gotta take all this in. You understand what I'm saying? It is Black History Month. It is 2/2/22 today. You understand what I'm saying? We got a lot going on. I got a lot to be thankful for. You understand what I'm saying? Getting blessed by the divine feminine energy is in the building, activating. That's why I'm so serene. It's like you don't be smiling on your broadcast. Look, I got 3 reasons to smile in front of me right now. You understand what I'm saying? So this Black woman love is motivating me, and I'm very, very honored to have some seasoned masterminds in the building here who is showing us a new beginning in the golden experience. Okay, I'm gonna say that one more time. Showing us a new beginning in the golden experience, or the golden chapter of existence. So it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present to others. 2 no strangers and 1 brand new soul sister in the building. You understand? Y'all know my mama. Give it up for my mama, Tresa Simmons. And for my right hand in the clutch, whether I was on the screen or off the screen, whether I got kicked off or kicked back on, whether it was my birthday, whether it was the show anniversary, whether it was 8,000 episodes, whatever it was, the gift that was given to me by my mother because she loved me so much. Goddess Bianca in the building, okay? And I saved the best for last because she is so phenomenal that I cannot encapsulate all of the greatness that is her in 1 word or 2. So let's give it up for an artist. Let's give it up for an author. Let's give it up for a poet. Let's give it up for the magnifique, the PA resistance, okay, up in here, that is here to activate, to motivate, to teach, and to help us heal and elevate. Let's give it up for Mrs. Gale Rucker in the building. Come on.
Hi. Hey. Hi, ladies.
And we are jumping off the deep end today. So, goddesses, Black women, how are y'all feeling? Okay, let's start there.
I am well.
Doing well.
I am fabulous. It's been a great day.
Yes.
So it's good to finish the day with y'all. So I'm really excited.
Yes. So we jumping off the deep end right into the conversation. Let's get into the brainchild, the one who bring everybody together. Because every time she come on this platform, my mama always bring me another gift. Okay, so Mama Tresa, let's take a moment with you and let's tell the family why we here together, and then I just move accordingly.
Okay, well, we're here because we're doing the interview for the podcast, Jumping Off into the Deep End, and we launch February the 19th. Yes! I am so grateful. I was given this vision. And when it first started, it was just me. And then, sometimes when we're given a vision, if we just hold on enough, it'll start unfolding. And
Mm-hmm.
then one day, I don't know, I was talking to Gale. She and I had exchanged some books. She's a writer and a poet, and it just came to me she would be a good addition.
Yes.
And Bianca, I thought it was going to be two of us, and I started talking to Bianca about it, and I was like, man, hey, couch talk. Three grown up women, three mature, seasoned women doing our
Yes.
thing. And so that's kind of how it started. We started brainstorming. We're aware that oftentimes older women, the more mature women, sometimes don't get the same props as the younger women. And, there's so much that we have to bring. There's so much also that we can learn. So
Mm-hmm.
it's dedicated to us. It's dedicated to recapturing the forgotten woman. And so that's kind of how it started. So I know I'm looking forward. They're looking forward, and you can ask them any questions. But I'm excited. I am excited because there are sometimes I'll get a message or I'll get a download, and I'll be like, But the moment I act on it, I can start seeing it just expanding. And so I'm grateful to have two
Yes,
women that I can
indeed.
trust to do this work with.
Okay. Miss Gale, Goddess
Yes.
B, I need to ask y'all the same question, and you could take as little as you like in your time to answer. Okay, what was it about other than this phenomenal lady? Okay, because she got the power of persuasion. Okay, she will make me shut the schedule down and be like, she'd be like, son, I'll be like, yep, yes, ma'am. All right, let's go, let's do it. Okay, what was it about what you heard in this conversation that was the selling point for both of y'all to agree? Say, oh, I want some of that piece of that pie. I want my third. Okay, I'm here for my third. Okay.
Well, I am a firm believer there is always enough pie to go around for everybody because I love sweets. But when Tresa had mentioned it to me, we were just exchanging comments and offering and buying each other books and supporting one another. And we just happened to jump off into a really deep conversation. It just came to fruition. Then all of a sudden she had put a request in and she asked me, and I heard her, but I was like, I don't want to be overtaxed with trying to do so much, but what she was trying to convey and what she wanted to present out there just sounded like a beautiful pearl getting ready to be polished up. And I wanted to be part of that. I wanted to be able to offer my 2 cents. And even though I am a well-seasoned woman, I still have some viability. I still have some life experiences left in me. And I can share some of the things that I have heard or experienced or I know. And when I talk with Tresa and Bianca, I have so much fun. It's like we're all best friends. It's like we're bad little girls together. Our conversations are vast and never ending. So I wanted to be part of the team because I love when a good plan sounds like what's his name from the A-Team. When a good plan comes together. And for me, it sounded beautiful. And I love anything that's beautiful and magnificent. And that's what that seemed like to me.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Look, I'm feeling all of that energy, Gail. I feel you. I think when Tresa first approached me about it, we talked about me being the host for the show. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm game. I'm for it. It's just, I've hosted in different scenarios before. So I always like, yeah, this will be great. This will be fun. And then I don't know if it was in the same conversation or if you call me back later. And she's like, do you just want to be a part of this show? I was like, heck yeah. Not a problem. So it's for me, it's just an opportunity to kind of just really share with women that are in our age category. Talking, I think, I don't mind sharing my age. Everybody else may not want to, but we all definitely, 50s and above, and it's a beautiful thing. And I think that sometimes, just when we get to this age, that the expectation of others outside of us, our family, friends, is just that we just need to go sit down somewhere. And I ain't ready to sit down. So I'm excited. I think that it is like a party when we have our weekly calls and we're brainstorming or talking about all these things. It's like you can feel the energy. It's just like buzzing. Like I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it, because that's just how the energy is between us when we're talking about the things we want to discuss and we want to bring forth to the table. So I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to shock some folks.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about everything. And I'm excited about that because, you know, it's interesting that Gale, you used the word good girls, and I've always I had this saying. I found this shirt once. It's like bad girls are just good girls that don't get caught. So
yes.
however anybody wants to label us, we're gonna be good, we're gonna be bad, we're gonna do the doggone thing. So it's exciting, and I think that the conversations will appeal to it would appeal to all women, but we definitely want that that older woman, because again, there's so many things that are catered towards the younger women sometimes, whereas it's not for us. It's like, oh, you're a grandma and go sit down and rock the baby. No, I'll rock that baby for a little while, but not every weekend. I got things to do. So it's I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great. Well, it is gonna be great.
It is gonna be great. And I want to just piggyback on something, because Gale, one of the things I think that when I talked to Gale about it was when she went to start, because she's an erotica writer, and when she started, I started reading and listening to some of her things. One of the things she said when she started to write, I got the impression that people wanted her, something Bianca talked about, go sit down. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. Even at my age, I just turned 60. Hey, I'm grateful. So those are conversations that I absolutely love to talk about. You know, for me, it's about really just finding your way. And finding your way, you know, it doesn't matter what age you are. And so I just want women, particularly our age, to start to understand you're just starting to live. You know, many of them, especially, I talked to Gale about this, and I think you too, Bianca, when you think about our age, if you go back, a lot of times in that generation, we weren't really taught to just like dive deep, say what we wanted, get what we needed, all those things. So a lot of them grew up raising grandbabies, raising kids, doing all these different things. But where were we? And so now it's like, you know, it's an opportunity to, you know, come back and find yourself, experience yourself in a whole new way. And so yeah, I think that everybody will be pleased because we have a lot of topics to talk about. And you know, so I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
Okay.
And I definitely think that we're definitely in this new age of awareness, and this is how sometimes I feel like older women are kind of left out of the conversation or the picture, because again, it's like, oh, you've lived your life, and it's like, nope, I still, as long as I wake up every day, I'm still living my life, which means I have an opportunity to do whatever it is my heart's desire for that day. So it's definitely, I think, bringing awareness to women that it does not matter what your age is. Like, it truly does not matter. Like, we can do whatever we want when we want to. And I know that might sound a little trite, and people say, oh, you're never too old, you're never too old, but that's not how they treat you.
That's not how they treat you.
That's not how you treat you. And so that's why this excites me so much, because it's like, yeah, we here, we in your face, and we doing this, and we doing this.
Yeah, and I'm a villain if you need me to be, and I'm a good girl if you need me to be. I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I'm all of those things wrapped up into one. And I think that we all are in the process of getting our second wind. You know, don't put me on the shelf because society figures that they can just place us on a shelf and then, you know, you've had your youth, you've had your fun. Now you need to go sit down. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting my second wind. I am re-careering. I will not be sitting down. And if by chance I have to become confrontational and we have a misunderstanding, then so be it. I'm not afraid of it. But don't think just because I'm a more seasoned woman, I'm going to go softly into that good, sweet good night, and I'm just going to be docile and sit in the corner. If I'm in the corner, I'm going to be kicking and screaming, and I'm going to be plotting on how to get out and planning your demise. That's how I operate.
Right. Or put me in the corner. I'm going to start writing on the wall, and you're going to be like, what's she doing over there? She's going to be interested in what we're doing. So it's, yeah, I love all of that, Gale. So it is, it's going to be a great time.
It is. And, you know, another thing, when the women come, I want them to know that not only are we talking about things that our whole point or at the core of it, we're lifting each other up and giving each other ways to also to grow, to move and start, you know, like we're not here, we don't consider ourselves advice givers in that way, but just having conversation. And as you, by chance, someone gets something, that an aha moment that will transform their lives. You know, we're talking about, we're open books. And so one of the things that I wanted to mention is that maybe what's a little bit different about the way we're doing things is there'll be other women that'll be part of our show, that occasionally we'll be allowing other women to show up. And we're talking about domestic violence, and we have a woman that comes on who's made it through it. Because oftentimes, sometimes when people see you, they say you do it, but you've done it, or that's you. But when they begin to see their peers, it hits a little different. So it's not just us having this conversation, but when we bring other women, you've made it through this, you made it through this. You know, we're not over here man bashing, but there will be conversations held to hold things at a certain standard. We're not over here female sister bashing, you know, but we are here to tell the truth, hold a space so that we all can heal. Because if we don't tell the truth, we might as well not. Why are we here? Yeah. Again, though, I look forward to it because it's just like, you know, I'm just thinking about something, an affirmation, and I won't even say it right now, an affirmation that I had, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago. And I just feel like all of a sudden, like it just said, this is what you asked for. This is what you chose. And sometimes we don't even know what it's going to look like, how it's going to show up.
Yes. That package. That the package of life and love. You never know what it's going to look like and what it is going to hold.
You don't know what it's going to look like.
You don't know what it's going to look like and what it's going to encompass or hold. But do you want to open the package, or you just want to sit here twiddling your thumbs? I am a firm believer. Some packages need to be open, and sometimes you need to be forced out of your comfort zone. Because if I would not have taken that leap of faith, I would have never moved here, and all of the wonderful and magnificent things that have happened to me, I would have missed it because I would have just been so comfortable and so at ease, and I didn't want to upset the apple cart or rock the boat. But I was like, okay, I felt like I was at the crossroads, and I was like, okay, God, let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
And the crossroad is so important. And everybody has a different type of crossroad. And for mine, it definitely was given my religious background and how I used to be the church girl for a while. For me to attend a sacred sexuality retreat, that was me stepping out of my comfort zone and really open a doorway to meet so many amazing people. Like people complain about their Facebook timeline. I'm like, mine is the shit. I got cool people. I just don't have a bunch of foolishness on my timeline. I'm like, it's like I know some great people. I've been introduced to some amazing women and amazing men. Amen for the divine masculine. So I'm like, so it's been for me, it's just me just stepping out and doing something so different than what I was um, accustomed to retreats and things, doing different things that I've done, and not really like giving in or caring about what family and friends may have thought about sacred sexuality. What does that mean? I mean, almost everybody that I would say that to, they was like, ew, what is that? You know, or y'all gonna be having sex? I was like, did you not hear the word sacred? I didn't say anything. I said sexuality, not sex. But I just think that that retreat opened a space for me to be just a lot more comfortable in my own being, and just doing, and just like I said, it just opened the door to meet so many amazing people. And that was what, 2019, so it's only 3 years. In 3 years, I have some divine connections that I am so grateful for. So I think those crossroads and us stepping out on like real faith is important when we listen to
Definitely.
our intuition and just push ourselves forward and not go sit in the corner or be dragged into the corner because somebody said that's not good or that's not what you're supposed to do. So again, I'm excited. This is gonna be great.
It is going to be great. And I just wanted to kind of piggyback a little bit on you, Bianca, because we're talking about sisterhood, and
Mhm.
we never know how sisterhood will grow or what it'll be. And I kind of laughed because I think it was the second one or something, or the first one that you came to, and you wasn't feeling me. Oh my God, she wasn't feeling me.
No, I was not. I was like, ugh. It was, first of all, I had pushed myself out of this comfort zone. Then I get there, and Tressa pretty much is the connector. She's like, everybody is there pretty much because of Tressa. Somehow, like Tressa was there, but Sadia was there because of Tressa, and I was there because of Sadia. So Tressa was the common thread, and boy, did I didn't know what I needed at the time, and because it was so not what I've been used to. I was just irritated by her presence, and it's like, but my spirit knew that this is what I needed. So it's like, oh, let me jump into her circle voices and let me see what this is about. Although initially I was irritated as fuck. I said, why she keep talking? Why she keep talking? Can somebody else talk? but but what it was Tressa came in there, game on. She's like, I'm getting what I need out of this retreat. Whereas
Uh-huh.
I was sitting back in the cut a little bit, kind of still kind of, a little scared to really fully open. But her energy is what I desired. That kind of like, fuck how it goes, fuck what everybody think. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do what I do and how I do it. And I was attracted to that energy and repelled at the same time because my shadow was like, girl, bye. You need to, we don't like her. But spirit knew, no, you do like her. And that's why you so irritated. So yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that even like I said, that I went. I'm grateful that I listened to my intuition despite what my head was saying. It's like my intuition was like, you need to be in Choices Circle Voices. And then that just opened the door too to so many different doulas and teachers and just amazing people. And like I said, I know some divine beings, and we don't talk every day or communicate every day, but I know that if, you know, yeah, I'm here. I want to learn something about this. I want this, that, or the other. I know where to go. And I think that's, it's important to have stuff like that because a lot of times we don't get that as women. We just like, oh no, your time to shine is done, or, you should know that we should know all these certain things because we are of a certain age. I'm like, yeah, we do know a lot of stuff, but there's certain things that we're still learning, we're still growing, and it's and it's gonna be the show is gonna be about that too, learning and growing, sharing. So, and that sisterhood is so important. Man, it's so important. I was just telling the old life coach of mine, we were talking, and I got some really intense family stuff going on, and I called him about another friend and said, "Hey, did you know he's in the hospital?" And he's like, "How are you?" I was like, "Damn, I ain't called to talk about me." But in the conversation, he felt good. He was like, I was like, well, I don't have a therapist, but I got my sister circle. I got this, I got that. So he was like, okay. He said, but, and you got me. I said, and I know that. So it's just good sometimes just to have people that you can bounce stuff off of. And sometimes a lot of us, we've never even met each other physically we just know each other from stuff like this. So it's just, it's great. And I'm gonna stop talking because I got the gift gab. Somebody else start talking.
Oh, you good, girl. You good. That's one of the things I love about us.
That's
because
how
we
you
all
know that
have our
show is
time to
going to be
shine.
live. Right.
Yes,
That's how you know
we
that
all
show
have
going
our
to be
time to
live.
shine.
Yeah.
I did
And-
wanted to say something about what you said, Goddess B. You said your head got in the way. I think you should replace head with hurt. Your hurt got in the way because your head
Good
is fine.
point. See,
Your
that's the
head
divine
is
masculine
fine,
coming up in here.
but your head isn't fine when it hurt. You see what I'm saying? You
Yes.
got a headache. You can't
Yep.
look. The world shut down. I don't care what somebody's trying to offer you,
Yep.
whatever it is. When your head is hurt, though, you
Yep.
focusing on the hurt.
Yep. That is
Your head
so
was
true.
fine, and many of us have been hurt, and we know where hurt is. And we can trauma bond with that hurt so much so that we close ourselves off from opportunities that are right there in front of us. Especially our sisters. I don't know how y'all make it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how y'all make it and endure. What I wanted to say is what y'all are providing as a triune is transformative. Just think about how many generations of Black women that y'all are going to heal ancestrally and physically, and those coming through the portals to incarnate with the fact that you're creating a space for a new normal, a return to a narrative that had been forsaken. You see what I'm saying? So being in the space of self-care, being in the space to say age ain't nothing but a number, truly is not just a catchphrase to throw out there. Reinventing and reinvigorating the spark of that sacred woman. You see what I'm saying? Indiscriminate to because y'all have been everything to everyone.
Yes.
And no one has been anything to you. You see what I'm saying? You get caught up in the roles. We get real role specific. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter. Those are characteristics. But where are you in those things? You see what I'm saying? Where are you? So on this path to self-discovery and giving yourself license and permission to resurrect, y'all are resurrecting power and tuned into the power frequency that's on the planet of renewal. So I just want to thank y'all for coming with a spirit of renewal and reinvigoration for Mother Earth, for nature, for all of those names that we may know and not know who never got a chance to heal, who never took a break. You understand? Who felt bad if they took a break? Who felt bad if they were sick? You understand what I'm saying? And it wasn't for themselves, who never got a chance to live on the planet, even though they may have years on the planet. You see what I'm saying? So y'all have a chance to share that exponential wisdom with them and say it's okay. It's okay. And talk through it and grow through it and fight through it and heal through it and create some new empowered beings that are here on the planet for the shift that's taking place. I just want to take a second to give y'all some props because this is that new. I'm giving it up for the new.
That felt so good.
I receive.
Sacred woman. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I receive all that. I
Women.
receive deep gratitude.
Yes. Thank you. I think one of the things that I was listening to, thank you, Knowledge Born, for acknowledging us. I think oftentimes we don't acknowledge ourselves enough, or we're afraid to be how we'll be perceived. So I remember the workshop that the retreat that Bianca's talking about. I remember I knew I was going to go in, and she said, "Well, get mine." And so once I committed to that, I kind of didn't really think about some of the other stuff, and I could see how things would come off because I too have been in the seat of Bianca, where you're looking at everybody else. You want what they have, not their physical things, but you want that energy. You want that power. You want that says, hey, this is who I am. and you're comfortable with that, and you see that in other women. And so sometimes we think we may be jealous of them, but we're not jealous of them. We acknowledge that they have something within them that for us to be able to acknowledge it's in them, actually it's in us. So you can't name what you don't know. And when you see that, so I think that's what's often happening. And so, yes, when this, one of the things I want this show to come is that women to be able to start to be comfortable as themselves, comfortable, and not feel like being yourself will be too much for somebody. That's their problem. Right. That's not your problem. One of the things I do hope that this show brings women together in a way that, as Knowledge Born talks about, it does a lot of healing. It does a lot of conversations that we understand. So we're probably more alike than we are different. That we also understand. It gives us a way also looking at ourselves differently. How we showing up. How we either being part of the problem, part of the solution.
Right.
So, I look forward to the show in that way to just, I'm excited. I know we have a lot of topics. So, Bianca or Gale?
Yes.
So you want to talk a little bit about, not go into it, but some of the things that maybe some of the topics that we've had that you feel like is going to be just really, really something that you got excited about that we talked about.
Well, before we jump into the topics, I want to piggyback off of what Knowledge Born said about generational healing. And it's so interesting that you said that, because I thought about that this week, and in relation to the podcast. I was like, this is like another way of real, like, active generational healing, because as we heal, as we put ourselves out there, we open the door for those behind us and those that are in front of us and those to come. So that 7 generations back, that 7 generations forward, it definitely allows for that, because what I get, those behind me gonna get, and those in front of me gonna get. So it's definitely a platform that allows that as well, because it's really important. I think it's a way for us to be active and not just be like, oh, I'm breaking generational curses. Yeah, how are you doing that? What? And we're not. And there's so many levels to the game. There's just different ways to do it, and it's not all sometimes just about building the wealth, but it's like, okay, energetically, where are you? What have you healed from, and how is that impacting again your ancestors and your generations in front of you? I think about my 3 girls. I think about, I have 3 grandkids now, my 3 grandkids, and then the ones that's gonna come after them. It's like, they're gonna get all this good juju. So it's exciting. But yeah, so generational healing, we here for it. We're here for it all. But Gail, you want to jump in about some of the topics?
I can't remember the topics right now. I'm having a moment, but
that's okay.
It'll come to me. I was just sitting here listening to you all talk, and I was thinking about how we are in the process of showing women that women can be friends with one another. You don't have to compete. There does not have to be a thread of negativity that's constantly flowing, like we're always in the process of trying to outdo one another or one-upsmanship of another. Your success is my success. I don't want what you have. I want what God has for me. I don't sit around worrying about what you got. I could actually care less. I just want us to dine and have fun together. I want you to have whatever piece of pie or whatever it is that you desire, because I want what I want. Technically, it's like we all are in the process of holding hands and walking each other home. Your stop might look different than my stop. Your desired destination is totally different than mine, but we are of the same mind, and we are only encouraging each other to continue on. So that's what I wanted to offer up.
Yeah, that's important too, to have those friends, and to have those that you consider your sisters. And I know that some people, I've listened and heard different things about, and I used to be one of them people. I brag, I only got one best friend. I don't have any female friends, because females this, that, and the other, which is all a bunch of brainwash programming, because we need that. We need that friendship.
We need each other.
We need it, right? We need one another, to, just to be there, to bounce things off of one another, and to learn and grow from one another. So when we get caught up in that programming of Black women can't be friends, or women are just backstabbers. That's some programming, like,
they
BS.
like to keep the division going,
right? And it's like,
the fact that we are so strong together, and the unification of sisterhood, especially if it's true and genuine, it's unbreakable.
Right.
It's unbreakable, because I only desire for you to be successful. I only want that for you. And if by chance you want it for yourself, I'm going to help you and you help me, and we just continue on, because it's a lonely world out here by yourself. And there are so many elements and agents that are just sitting on the side waiting to destroy you. So
yeah. And when I'm thinking of friendship too, or sometimes sisterhood, I think we weren't taught what real friendship and real sisterhood is. So sometimes it has gotten a bad rap, because you think of it as something that it's not. Because real friends will tell you behind off. I'm about to cuss.
yeah.
Tresa, I cuss all the time on this show.
They will get you what you need told, and still love you, but don't go along with your foolishness.
Yeah.
Because real friendship is not about saying yes to everything that you want to do when your panties is showing off your side of your dress or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I use that, like, tell somebody what's going on. Don't tell them they look good when they don't. And I'm talking about physically, but I'm also talking about emotionally and all this stuff. They letting everything hang out. Sometimes we just have, and that's what friendship is about. So hopefully also this show will be a part of helping us to see what real sisterhood is about. Learning things and learning to heal,
and letting go of some of that luggage that we've been unnecessarily traveling with, unbeknownst to us. We choose not to let go of some of the things that no longer serve us, because it's familiar, and you don't have to struggle. You don't have to struggle with the familiar. It's the unfamiliar that makes you
scared.
But even the familiar,
balance, the unfamiliar, the conversations that you've never had with someone, the letting your guard down and opening your life and opening your heart to somebody else who is hurting, and they are afraid to let their guard down or take that mask off and let you see. I liken it to walking behind the scenes of a production. Not everybody gets to walk behind the scenes in my life. Only my best friends get to see the shit that's sitting there lurking. But sometimes I don't even like them to see it, because it's just so funky. But the ones that I do allow to walk in and see some of the stuff, I need you to walk with me. I need you to keep me on track. And if you see that I am faltering, pull me to the side or prop me up, because I might be weak. I might need your strength to keep me going.
yes.
And I think the variety of topics that we will discuss will open the door for conversations amongst us, amongst guests, and even those, we'll have those thought-provoking conversations that will allow women to take those conversations into their friendship circles. So, that's how things kind of spread and into their families and with their daughters and moms. I mean, you never know. But I think that having those conversations, because sometimes, even sometimes women it may have friends, but sometimes those friendships can be on some level shallow. Like
Yeah.
they may get deep on some things, but they may not get deep on everything. So I think that having platforms like ours and that it will allow us to really dig into topics that are meaningful, that are worthy, and that could really have lasting impact for however many more years we have on this earth, whatever that is, be it 10, 20, 30, whatever it is. We're still, she said, we still here. I'm still here. And how we're going to live those years, and what kind of impact we're going to have on other people. And that impact could just be a conversation. It doesn't have to be something huge, but are we willing to put ourselves out there?
And one of the things, because one of my mottos is conversations heal. I'm a firm believer. And I remember like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, because one of the things, let me back up a minute. One of the things I am hoping that our show will also do is help women say, I can and I will. And they do. Because I remember thinking 5 or 6 years ago, before it got to this point that, I was like, I felt like at 5 years ago, I was probably about 55. So it was probably about 7 to 8 years. I was probably in my early 50s when I wanted a book club. And the reason I wanted the book club, because I felt like women can learn more together than we can just apart if we put our knowledge together. And so my journey probably didn't totally know it. Entrepreneurship was going to start at that journey. And I still believe that. And I've had conversations with a sister. I've done something similar to this and other things, because I firmly believe that communication, real true communication, can help heal. And so I'm hoping that one of the things that we get, like I said, is women begin to see that their dreams can happen. And that when another woman shares her dream, and particularly as we get older, that we see that there is no limit on age, really. I mean, if you want to do it, do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes I ain't gonna lie, we might have to do it just a little bit different than a younger person.
Mm-hmm.
But, we can get it done. What is it that we choose to do? And so I'm just looking forward to all the topics that we have. I mean, like I can remember some you're talking about young men, older women. You're talking about domestic violence. You're talking about different conversations around sex. We're talking about healing. We're talking about love. We're talking about our children. We're talking about our careers.
Yes.
We're talking about ourselves, how we show, and basically the core of everything that we talk about is how we show up in that space. Not just those things, but how we show up. How do we want to show up? Who said we couldn't?
Exactly.
Whose lie have we believed? And that's one good thing about sisterhood, because we can always root each other on and say, yes, you can. Yes, you can. So I am looking forward to just an amazing array of topics. I know, ladies, for now, we talked about twice a month. One of the things I love about starting off is twice a month. And one of the things I love about it is we're going to be visual and audio.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to let everybody know that shows will be recorded. And yeah, I am excited. Another thing that came to my mind is how we're different. Gale would be the fiery firecracker.
Yes.
The
Yes.
fiery firecracker. I think I would probably be the diplomatic one. Maybe.
Wow. I don't know. Would I be diplomatic? I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably be a little bit of both. It's kind of like, yeah. I can see myself sometimes being very diplomatic, and then other times it's like, no. this is how it should be, or this is what I think. I think we all have definitely very strong great personality and characteristics that we bring to the table. And I think that is so good. It reminds me of this song by Tony Jones. And the title is Take Up Space. So we are taking up this. We're gonna take up in the space.
We're gonna take up space.
We taking up space in here.
Space.
And we're definitely inviting other women to take up space too and just own that part of them. So it's I think we're definitely all we're different. I think there are some similarities. Like for me, I'm a poet. I have not been on the mic in some years. Starting to get an itch and miss it. I've not published any of my poetry. Strongly considering that, whereas both Gale and Tresa have done that. And some of my poetry, I wouldn't consider it as, maybe it is somewhat erotic, some of it. But I think we have some similar things that we've done, but also so much different, and then and such a larger scale. Like, I think that I'm excited about all the things that Tresa is doing. I'm excited about Gale and her, novellas? Did I say it right?
Novella. Dessert novellas.
Dessert novellas. So she's just so elegant with it. Whereas I feel like I could be a little raunchy. I'm probably a little bit more raunchy.
Which is what we need.
Here's
the thing. And that's what I was talking about, the personalities, because we need that. Because every woman some women, our sisters, we got some raunchy sisters. We got some hood sisters. We got some whatever sisters. But all of us carry,
Right.
But that's what makes the stew the best. It's all of us seasoned. What it would just be so bland if we just had only one kind. So even within us, I kind of think about us, and I was trying to think, I just see that each of us kind of have our own. We do some similar things, some different things, but as far as sisterhood, we kind of carried a little bit differently, but that's okay. To watch your personality, mine, to watch Gale's, it's like, so we're bringing something for everybody. I'm sure there's a little bit of
very dynamic, very electrifying, very captivating, very wholesome, very nurturing, and I'm gonna put the last one on the end, very raw. Okay, very raw.
Yes,
very raw. Okay, without even saying a word, just in the presentation, just standing mute. Sometimes all of these things precede all three of you. So that's like that triune unifier. You see what I'm saying? The uniqueness of each raindrop, the uniqueness of each snowflake. Yet they're all raindrops, yet they're all snowflakes. You see what I'm saying? So that vastness of array, of assortment, and it's all candy. You see what I'm saying? And it all tastes good. So, Miss Gale, we are not going to gloss over, because Goddess B be in my notes. She be in my mental notes, and she extrapolate them. I don't even have to be present, and she just will mine in my mind and pull out my thoughts and express them. Okay, desserts novella. Okay, we need a proper introduction into that realm. Talk to us, please. You see how she came alive? Wait. Did y'all see that? Okay.
Yes.
I love
that
my
energy
job.
was like,
I love my job. When I get that moment right there, boom, let's go.
You're calling forth a different aspect of me. Because see, you're talking to Gale, but my author's name is Camille. So Camille is a different delicious treat. Camille will say, you know what? I write naughty stories titled after desserts. And it is not my intent to offend you, nor am I concerned about your blood pressure, your BMI, or your caloric intake. I am dessert. You knew what I was when I walked in the door. I need you to dine on me properly. And if by chance you become offended with vulgarity, violence, and lots of sex, I am not the author for you.
For you.
So strap yourselves in, kiddies, because I'm going to take you on a delicious ride, and I'm going to tell you a story titled after dessert, but it's a naughty story. So that's the Camille aspect of me.
I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. See, this is like, makes me want to get back on the stage again. I'm like, where the mic at?
Hey, yes. The mic is right there.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
And I would also offer, because I used to do a lot of poetry slams, and I would also tell the audience, if by chance they are easily offended, I will wait until they leave. And I will turn my back to the audience and I'd fluff my hair. And I turned back around and I said, oh my God, you're still here? Well, let's go, baby. And then I just jumped into one of my stories.
That is so funny. I love it, because when I would do poetry events, and I would just remember, it's like, hey y'all, I'm giving it to you straight. Monday through Friday, I'm the HR lady, so I have to be politically correct at work, and that ain't happening in here. So it's just like giving yourself that little intro and giving people that warning if they need it. I love it. I love it, because it is sometimes that I think that when we write and when we express ourselves creatively, it may be really different from how you kind of just flow in our normal 9 to 5 or whatever it is that we're doing. It is definitely, like you said, it's an alter ego kind of situation. And I think it's a beautiful thing to call on those egos to get it done. Because I know Tresa, she had to call on her alter ego with her book. I was like, okay, Tresa. And then the cover of that book, I was like, yes. I'm like, I'm trying to get, I want to get there. I'm like, Tresa was like,
whenever I grow up,
that pose she struck on her book, on the cover of her book.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank
See?
you. I know.
Gotta be
I feel
right.
like
Look,
that book
look.
wrote itself.
See, look, gotta be, look, right in my note. I'm telling you, she in my spiritual notes now. Because I was going there next. You understand? I was going there next. I was like, boom, let's segue over to my mama. Okay? You shook up the universe, not the world. Muhammad Ali shook up the world. Okay? He said I shook up the world. When he won the title, he became the world heavyweight champ. You shook up the universe with a book cover. Okay? And then I got the book, and then I read the words. Okay, you shook up the etherverse with the words. Okay, the cover was like, pow. Okay, then they say you don't judge a book by its cover, and then I got into the words, and I understand why that anecdote was so necessary. You shook up the etherverse. My ethers was shook up. You understand what I'm saying? My ethers was shook up.
Wow. I'm like sitting over here. I'm like, I feel like the book wrote itself. About a year or so before, I had one of my good sisters. There is a Black poet where we do poetry and stories and stuff, and it's on Facebook. And I was invited into the group because she helps run it. And I just kind of started writing. And then there was one guy. He was much younger than me, and he and I would just kind of just go back and forth. And then 1 year later, so I realized it was a story of my life from the depression I had carried in my life, from sexual abuse, from all different kind of things, all kind of stuff. My poetry was just breaking down all of that.
Is that hot? The firemen coming. You hear that? Look, the firemen is right on time. Okay, they agree. Somebody called the fire department, okay? And we didn't even get into the book yet, okay? So,
then I got to a place where the freedom, where it came so much, where the freedom, the sexual, where it just kind of like left all the other stuff alone. And then I started affirming myself and all the way over to get to the juicy sex stuff. And I was like, oh my God. So you kind of see a way of where I was just kind of moving in my life through poetry, how I was just healing. And so it's a book really about my healing journey through poetry. And so I am grateful. I know when I have to say I had some good sisters behind me that was encouraging me. One of my best friends was like, girl, do it. And I had another sister. She said, well, she gave me the right words. She said, here, just cover up this part. She said, because it can get in Amazon, it can get in Barnes and Nobles if you just cover up this part. And so, I am grateful though. I'm grateful for the artist that did it. I'm grateful that I got an opportunity um, to come out of myself. And I think one of the highest honors, because I am so appreciative of everybody that bought my book. Um, Sometimes though, I thought to myself, if you had not put that cover on that book, you might have gotten it in other places or more people. Because I'm aware that some women that's not totally comfortable, maybe some men that's not totally comfortable, maybe some church folks that's not totally comfortable, or whatever. But I feel like this was for me. It will find its way. The next thing
Yes.
I would say is that one of my mentors, because different people wrote their reviews. She wrote such a review that Amazon told her, oh, you can't put that on here. And so for that, I am grateful.
Right, right. Right. One of the other things I like about the three of us that we all have kind of a motto that we've either said over and over again or we kind of live by. And I didn't even know what I was creating when I started doing it, but I was just like, mine is fabulous by intention, which for me, that means you're coming in fierce, you're coming in fabulous, and you're coming in with intention, whatever it is that you're doing. And I believe Gale helped me. Was it I have no shame to give you?
I have no shame to give you.
Yes, I think you said that on our first call, the three of us, and it just like I have goosebumps again. I was like, that's right. I ain't got no shame to give you. Do your thing. That's what that means for me. And it probably will mean different things to different women. But when I hear that, I have no shame to give you, that means like, girlfriend, do your shit, do whatever you want to do. You good.
And no matter how much you ashamed, but what I do, that's your problem. Because I don't have nothing to add to that. I don't got nothing to add to that. You ashamed of what I do, what I say. I don't have nothing to do with that. And I loved it when I heard her say that. And when I heard you say fabulous by intention, I'm like, this is a woman who is defining her life by herself in the way she wants. And she's clear about what she wants and who she wants. And mine is conversations heals. Because what I start to understand, there is no conversation that cannot be had that I'm not willing to go there.
And I love that about you.
That is true.
I love it.
It's for me though. Really, it's time to have a
fire
conversation.
truck came back soon as you said conversations day. Conversation day. Then look. Okay.
So it is. I feel like though, for real though, it's like we won't have conversations. And I felt like I hid all my life. I feel like I got started late in life. Like I feel like up until a certain period, I was developing. Like I was just still developing myself and all of that stuff. But I feel like now there's just no conversation that we can't have, and that everything that I've ever gone through prepared me for this moment. Domestic violence, poor choices, any and everything. I had one sister said, she told me, she said, all you do is a shock. She called me a shock factor or something. She said, you have a way of you wanting to shock people with the things you say. Hey, it's not like I just try to go out, but it's like, let's get it out. Let's get the conversation going. So I'm really about having conversations, and I love being with two women who help hold me. When I think about Gale talking about I have no shame for you, I feel like she helps hold and support me on one side, holding me up, because she reminds me there's nothing to be ashamed about.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under. And Audre Lorde said something about, and I don't know, I'm not saying it directly because I quoted it today, about we're diminished. Nobody can diminish us. If we have, and she didn't use these words, but if we have no shame about what we did, no, nobody can diminish us. That don't mean that there's times that we don't wish we had done something we see that we could have done it differently. Maybe shouldn't have done it at all. But we cannot live in shame, and we cannot live on the side of guilt and shame and all that stuff. And then when you talked about fabulous by intention, when I see your writings and when I see your what you stand for, it just keep reminding me we can make a choice every day and be intentional with our choices. It doesn't have to be like life is always happening to us. We can happen to life. We can create whatever we want, the way we want, how we want it. You know, I was telling Bianca that where I stayed, they was kind of having an outing out there. And I was thinking it's getting closer and closer to our event. And I remember saying, oh, okay, because I called the ancestors when I came in. I'm like, look, I need y'all to come in with me. And so I remember saying, you know, looking at these women and these men out there, like, you guys have to do one or two things. You have to quiet down or you have to go. And then I said, ancestors, I need you to work with me to do this. Next thing I know, everybody packed up and left. I'm talking about creating what we want through words, through actions, through deeds. And do I feel like it happened just like that? Absolutely. Even when Gale was on one end, she was talking to her God saying, you know, let me get in. And I called on the ancestors. I'm like, look, I need her to come on over here. She needs to be on this show today. And so then she pops in. So whether it's through our writing, our belief system, you know, because we create our life. You know, and I know it's kind of hard sometimes to believe that, you know, we create it. And sometimes we might not actually say, well, let me go and do something stupid. But energetically, somewhere we're still moving in that, doing some stupid energy that got us where we are. And so, you know, we'll talk about all those type of things. You know, we're not here to try to be right versus wrong. We just
or outshine each other.
Right. And allow other women to come in and share their story.
Yeah.
You know, there's gonna be, and if so, the way this, I do want to say this, the way it works is, so there's a group on Facebook called Transformative Conversations and Solution. It's a Facebook group. And we starting with the women that's in there who have been there, who's showing up for themselves. And you want to show up for yourself and in ways, and you've been, you know, you've made it through life and you've come through. Then those are the women that want to, some of those, or will get every opportunity first to show up here to maybe, you know, tell another sister, how did you do it? Well, this is the way I did it.
Right.
You know, I'm really, 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 really excited. I'm definitely excited.
And here's where you want to be.
And here's where you want to
be. Because we got the sauce. We got the sauce. So yeah, definitely gonna be a great time. And I mean, I'm just so excited about it. I just think that it's gonna open, I think, so many doors for all of us. I think honestly, I do a lot of this stuff for fun. What he's posting now is
excuse me, God me. Excuse me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We're not gonna slide by this either. Okay.
We're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna seggy weggy right up in her. Okay, right up in her.
I got you. I was just saying, a lot of times I do things like this for fun because to me this is fun. Especially I work in HR. Now what he's posting now is a book anthology project that I participated in last year, and it's called Letters to My Little Sister. And my best friend was like, "Oh, come on, let's do this," and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And honestly, my intention was just to do it to have something published because I write, but I've never put it in hard copy form. So, and it's been just amazing, just the response that I've gotten. And first it's like, I'll just buy a few books. And then I was like, oh, hell no, I want my money, my investment back. So, and then it was like, dang, I think I need to track. I think I might have made a profit already. So,
all right.
So not a huge profit, but it's been fun. And then also doing book events and talking to people and just connecting. And it's been a blast. I was just like, and I wasn't expecting it. But again, I think when we put ourselves out there, when we go with the intuition that says, you know what, you need to step out and do this. So it just opens the door to so much more. So I am definitely excited about the next thing that I write. I have a couple of ideas, and when I say it, one of them gives me like I'm not fearful about it, but my stomach just did a somersault, like backwards and forward. So just the writing there, and it's definitely something that I think that other families are going through, just the emotions and stuff. I have a family member that's incarcerated, and just all the things that come with that, just all the shit that comes with that. It's heavy, but I was just like, you know, I'm working and unpacking, and as I'm doing it, you know, you have these moments where it's like, damn, really? But then you have this moment, so it's like, damn, really? You know, so and I was like, oh, and spirit is on me, and I didn't put it out here, y'all. So yes, I'm writing about this experience, and it's you know, it's gonna be great, and it's gonna be real, and it might rub some people the wrong way, but I think it may help some folks as well.
Ooh. And we're real people. So when you talked about incarceration, and you're talking about all the stuff that we said we were going to talk about, I mean,
yeah,
real topics.
Yeah, and get straight to the heart of the matter of those conversations, those needful conversations that nobody really wants to have, because there's so much. The stigma of shame is just associated with everything, and I can only speak for myself. I am coming from a background, my father being a minister, and all of the little church ladies would try to slay my spirit, because, you know, I was very rambunctious and opinionated and not afraid, because I don't have a cowardly spirit in me. If anything, I have to ask the Lord to hold me back some days, because I'd be like, oh, I'm ready. Let's do this. So after several ladies kept trying to slay me, I happened to reply back to one of the church ladies, one of the mothers. And I said, well, you know what, sister, blah, blah, blah. I have no shame to offer you, if that's what you're looking for. I said, because see, giving you my shame is like giving you my power, and I will not relinquish my power to anyone. So I don't really care how you think or how you feel. I said, just because you might hear me curse somebody smooth the fuck out, it does not mean that I do not have a relationship with the Lord. God and I talk all the time. So you can't shame me trying to slay me with biblical references. And I said, see, you don't know what
we are not the same people, huh?
You don't know what they said to me to get that response. So, so when I say to you, I have no shame, I have none. So if that's what you desire and that's what you need, I'm not that chick. So
and see, that's what I love. I love. See, that's what I'm talking about. Hold it right. See, okay, and so Knowledge Born is just giving us some of your books. He's kind of rolling up through some of your books.
Oh, my dessert novella. Oh yeah. And it's and can you believe that I was ashamed to write the R series line of books, my Roxanne stories, because I have 9 of them. I was ashamed.
Roxanne, one of them.
Yeah, I was ashamed because there's a lot of sex and a lot of violence in the story, because you know what? You write about what you live or what you dream or what you imagine. And as I was coming up with Roxanne, I needed a hero. And Roxanne was my hero. She stepped up when Gale was somewhat unsure. Roxanne stepped to the front of the line to be like, oh, I'm sorry. You got your chicks confused. I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. We don't have to talk anymore. I'm not offended. And when I tell people I'm not offended if you don't talk to me, because see, I understand I am not for everybody. I am so aware of that. It takes a special type of taste to encapture and hold on to me. It's a special type of person. I'm not for everybody. I'm not for the faint at heart. And my Roxanne stories is like that. And I built a world for my character. And the hardest thing for me to do was to build a world that she thrived, because my character Roxanne is wealthy. She's a Black woman who owns a Lexus car dealership in Sacramento, California. The story or the dealership is like the background of the story, but there's so much more that's going on behind the scenes. So Roxanne takes the reader on the first page and she walks with you and she said, come with me. I want to tell you who I am and what's going on with me. And I want to talk to you about the misgivings of what you think you see and what is actually going on. And I'm going to wrap it up in some naughty encounters, some misunderstandings, some betrayal, some love. I'm going to wrap it all up together and I'm going to serve it up to you with a bow on it, because who doesn't like to be unwrapped? So that's the type of story and character I am. So if by chance you're modest, you're demure, and you're laid back and you're so subtle and delicate and dainty, I ain't that right a player. So therefore, when you step into the world of Roxanne, you've got to get your mind right and strap your boots on and let's go. Because from the beginning to the end, it's going to be some type of fuckery that's showing up. And it's going to allow you to dine on the story. Even though my Roxanne stories are nothing like my dessert novellas, I just happen to tell naughty stories and I title them after desserts. But they're still adventurous, racy, and naughty stories. But that aspect of myself, Roxanne, is my hero. And because I kept waiting on somebody else to help me and rescue me, and nobody showed up. It was just me. It was just me.
I just love it. Girl,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Because she picked her alter egos, whoever she wanted them to be. Yep. And she wrote about them. But the truth of it, because she has that in her to write, is a lot of her anyway.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
I think that I was just that probably modest. Something that probably years ago would have been like, and I have no.
I'd have read it in the dark like this.
Her, no more like her. Like I can see, like I've come such a long ways to be so expressive about so many things, so many conversations, so much, just yeah. That's kind of me.
Go ahead, Tresa. There it is, right there.
I have, so I'm not that. And the thing, to be honest, one of the reasons I love about what's going to happen is because we are not just our sister's keeper, but we are our sisters. And I remember years ago that I would watch different women and I would be like, dang. And I was enamored with the prostitute, not because she was a prostitute. I have to finally admit, but I was enamored with her because for whatever reason,
too, baby.
I don't know what her reason was, but she did what she had to do. And often if she cried in the bedroom, you didn't know it. But the point was she had the courage to do what she had to do. So I've always, so I think about some of the women, like my sister and some of her girlfriends, they be talking about stuff. And I be in my little church mind. Okay. I ain't like that no more, but in my little church mind, saying all kind of negative things. But on the other end, want to know what they talking about and trying to figure it out. And wanting to be a part of it, because oftentimes we throw away our womanhood. We throw away all the pieces that make her who she is. And we throw away our sensuality. We put all this stuff in a box and box her up and set her to the side. Well, that definitely ain't me no more. And so we're going to talk about stuff. I said recently on Facebook, I tagged him later. I didn't tag him with everybody else. I didn't want nobody to know who he was. Looking back, I was like, damn. One of the things that, one of the things we talked about, maybe having the show talking about what is one of the things we regret. One of the things I regret is I had this one guy who was so much younger than me. Well, maybe 18 years, because he followed me for about 15, 20 years. And now he's in his 40s. And I'm like, damn. What was I thinking about? Why did I tell myself no? The things that we say no to because we think somebody's going to say something or we shouldn't or whatever. It is okay if you say no because you don't want to do it. It is okay if that's what you do. But if you say no because you're terrified of what people will think about you, say about you, all of that stuff, you missing out on life. You only get this,
Right.
you know, I do believe in reincarnation, but that's another story. But I'm talking about this life right here. Like shit, I want to live. And like I was like, you know what? Gotta do it differently. Because what I was doing wasn't living. I wasn't even really happy. It's like, so now, whether it's a man, whether it's a job, whether it's a career, whatever it is, it's still what we choose to make it be for ourselves. So, you know, like, yeah. And I'm just grateful. I am grateful, you know, and even in this space right here, I was like at first like so nervous. I remember the first time I did a poem out of my book. I had not done it before. And I was asked to do poetry for a mentor of mine. I went all the way to Maryland or DC, one of those places to do it. And I remember afterwards, several men, even some of the ladies came up and said, we heard every detail. But I had to step out on faith and do it because I was terrified that I was going to look. I practiced, I ain't going to lie. I practiced for about a week straight, same poem over and over and over and over because I was so nervous and I wouldn't do it right. And now I think I care less about not getting things right more than I do. I care less about it and I care more about doing what I want to do so that I can say I'm living. I mean, in that regard, whether you're 12, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, I want older women to understand, yes, but in that regard, we're telling all women, you can be who you want to be, what you want to be, and I love it. Because when Gale, like she said so sweetly, you know, religion don't define her. The church women don't define her. She is no less loved by God because she cursed, because she write her books, because she do what she do. So again, you know, this might not be for everybody, as she said, as we get into our conversations and the kind of conversations we're going to have, it's still, you know, but those who are meant to show up will show up.
Right. And I believe I'm a strong believer of like when you of that divine timing, just how all of this is happening, and that, like you said, those who will show up will show up, and it'll be just what they need. And it may take them a little bit longer to kind of maybe process, unpack, and work through some stuff, but you get it when you need it. You know, because sometimes I think, damn, why didn't I get this when I was like in my 20s or 30s? But I wasn't ready, because if I was ready, I would have got it. But I got it now. So it's I think just accepting ourselves for where we are and knowing that we just really, as older, seasoned women, we do not have to be put in anybody's box, be it our own, be it family, friends, corporate, whatever. We don't have to be in that box. We definitely can, you know, take that box, rip it to pieces and burn that bitch. But
yes, for sure.
We definitely do not have to be in anybody's box. And I think that's one of the beauty, one of the things that I'm finding that's really beautiful about growing older and being appreciative of all the things that I've gone through. And they've not all been pretty, but they have formed me of they brought me to this point. This point is great. So oh yeah, y'all, I dance a lot. So y'all, visual, y'all gonna see me bust a move every now and then. But I think I wouldn't take away any of those experiences, because again, it brought me here. It brought me to this right here. And I just think that own who we are, what our experiences have been, and really own our desires, because sometimes we're, you know, as older women, we're like, oh, you don't get any more desires. You just get to go sit down somewhere. But it's like, no, we're going to own the past. We're going to own our futures. We're going to own our desires, and just really have really having a full life it meaning that we are doing those things that we want to do, not based on what other people want us to do. So, like I said, I'm really excited about this show, y'all. So
Me
jumping
too.
into the
And
deep
I'm
end,
jumping into the
recapturing.
deep end. And
Yes.
and I just want to let everybody know we debut, because I'm so excited. We debut February the 19th.
Yes.
February the 19th. We
Right.
debut.
Yes.
And I am excited. I'm excited. I'm really excited that, I'm expecting great things.
Yes.
As
Yes,
am I. As am I.
yes,
And
as
I want to
am
have so
I.
much fun doing it, because if it becomes regimented, then you lose me. But the fact that it's being authentic and fun. Oh, I actively pray for laughter and to enjoy myself, because there's so much misery that's free flowing. And I just wanted to have a good time. And so therefore, my spirit said yes to Tresa before I actually said yes. My spirit was
I
like,
am so
oh,
grateful.
girl. Oh, yes, right there. We can do that. And as I was getting myself together today, I was like, God, I can do this. And when all the chaos was coming around and I was becoming crazy in the head, that's what I started calling. And I was like, help, come on now, God, calm me down. Because some days I can be a stark raving lunatic. So it takes me to center myself, and I have to sit there and pray and ask the Lord to help me out, because some days
We're
I
pulling
have
on
to
all that
myself.
2
Yes,
energy
I am
today.
so
So
grateful
yes,
that
we're
all of you said
manifesting
yes.
greatness.
Definitely grateful that you said yes. The older I get, the more I see myself so differently.
Yeah.
And I like who I see.
Yes.
And where I thought I was really timid, didn't have this, that, I realized she was just not allowed to show up. But to the women out there listening, when you allow you to show up,
Yeah.
amazing things happen.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Trust.
no, I'm asking, I'm just kind of looking like, so I just wanted to tell everyone out there listening that thank you for showing up to hear us today. And I was just gonna ask you, Gale and Bianca, if you wanted to leave a word before we close out.
Oh, man, I just want to say, come kick it with us, come have fun, because that's what it's all about. We're navigating this together, and we're gonna have fun, we're gonna heal, and we want y'all to be there with us. So jumping into the deep end, recapturing the forgotten woman, debuting Saturday, February 19th.
Yes. And you, Gale?
And I would like to say that you're going to be in for the ride of a lifetime, because we all have collectively different life experiences. And like Bianca said, we've never met one another in person. We are exchanging energies with each other over the airways. That's a thing of beauty right there, because you all wouldn't know me from Adam. You know me now because you see me and you get to experience just a hint of my personality. But make no mistake, I am fragmented. I have my moments. I have my moments of genius, and I have my moments of being a lunatic. And I thank God for all of that, because together it makes me a force to be reckoned with, and I can have a conversation with anybody. So it just
Yes.
depends on who's at the door and what I am dressed like to open the door, because I welcome those transformative conversations with all those many souls that believe that they have been forgotten or put up on a shelf and have been dismissed or discounted and marked down for clearance. There's no clearance here. All the souls, the way you came in, that's still the same way I see you. Now, if you want to make me know that you ain't nothing, then you have to go out of your way to show me that. But as for me, when I meet you or I encounter, experience you, you're just another soul passing through. That's what I love.
I'm sorry, Gail, and I'm grateful too. I'm very grateful that one of the things that I just am grateful that I listened and was directed and guided to have two other women so we could have couch talk. I call it couch talk. And the very fact that women can see themselves in at least one of us,
Mhm.
and they can see maybe where they're been, where they are, and where they want to go. And we're here to support that. So for that, I'm very grateful. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who showed up today. I'm thankful to my son who said yes, he would
Thank you, Mom.
come on and use and allow us to use his platform for
The
what we will be
introduction.
doing.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the platform we'll be using for one of them. I don't know how he's going to work it out. It'll be one. It'll be visual and it'll be audio. So I'm not quite sure. I leave it up to him. But
Mhm.
this is it.
Is there any questions you have for us, Mr. Knowledgeborn?
Look, y'all answered every question I had on my list, and then some. Y'all pulled some questions out of my spirit, my heart, my soul, my brain. Y'all invigorated my spiritual palate on a multitude of levels. I am full. You understand?
Okay.
I am
Okay.
full. I am full. And I definitely have to have y'all back on separately because I want to dig into y'all specialties. So this was a good collaboration, but each one of y'all need your own moment to unpack and speak about y'all journey. I'm nosy like that. Bianca will tell you, I am nosy
Yes,
like
he
that.
is.
I am nosy like that. Okay. So I need Miss Gale. I need Camille. I need Roxanne. I need everybody. Okay. I need everybody's
Her
path,
split
journey,
personality.
story. I need all of that. Look, I need the podcast. I need
Yeah.
every little aspect that I could possibly get from you. So we got to set that up. You understand? Because Godspeed came on here and act like, she just slid in the little book and all that. And we only get together. We only get together on celebrations. We ain't like the regular black folk. Like, we got to stop meeting like this. We be like, when is the next thing? Okay, because we be partying on here. You understand what I'm saying?
That's good.
And
That's
and
good.
Mama, you already know. So this journey is very intricate and very sacred. I lost my physical mother February the 5th, 2009, and
Oh.
every year, around this time, her born day is the 31st of January, and her transition day is on the 5th of February. So in between this week, it's the roller coaster, it's the roller coaster, it's the roller coaster. But
You'll
then
never
there's
forget. Yeah.
there's the celebration. You see what I'm saying? She
Yeah.
transitioned on my aunt's birthday, which is February the 5th, and that's who raised her. She was 18 when
Mm.
my mother was born, so she was like our aunt slash grandmother because my grandmother transitioned when I was 2. So this ancestral solitude and this peace that comes along with, you know, the black woman mother. My mother made sure I was never without a mother. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
ancestrally, she sent mothers along the years to whoop me spiritually to make sure I stay in tune and in line with the purpose that we agree that I come to the planet for. So over the years, any place that I went, wherever I was, throughout my physical journey, there was a mother there that reminded me of my mother. You see what I'm saying? So, Mama Tresa is in that space, a
Oh, I'm
spiritual mother.
honored.
And I'm surrounded by spiritual mothers who keep me in line and don't take none of my shit. You understand what I'm saying? And keep me accountable, So it's a beautiful thing to be able to reciprocate, and hold space because this is a place where the black woman is honored and celebrated. If you want to get your ass whooped, get disrespectful with some black woman in my presence. Like, you understand what I'm saying? I don't care to know who they are. It don't matter. You see what I'm saying? So because my mother gave so much of her life as mother and grandmother, and great grandmother, we owe a debt that we haven't paid, and we have been very awful as black men over the centuries. And when you get an opportunity to make things new in that space of renewal and return, her back to her glory, you got to do it with your sword. You see what I'm saying? Not your mouth all the time, but your sword. You see what I'm saying? So whatever I could do, in this space to be a armor of protection. The guy who sit at the door with the rifle to keep the interlopers away from what's building. You already know that's what I'm gonna do. In the spirit and the truth. So I definitely want to thank y'all. This triune. I'm gonna keep calling y'all the triune. Okay,
I love
this
that.
triune that is
The
that has
Trinity. It's like the Trinity.
right, the real one. You see what I'm saying? The real one. This triune that is here, and this sacred and goddess transformation that y'all have formed together to help renew from the ancestral realm to the material, so that our sisters can continue to grow, continue to heal, continue to blossom, and go within and find the space within to resurrect to that goddesshood that the universe needs. The universe needs for Black women to heal, so the earth may heal, so the universe may heal, and so that we may be set back on a right course, to avert this destruction that is coming if we don't realign. So,
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. And to my
Yes.
sisters, I love all of you. Both of you, I love you so much.
Yes.
Welcome seeing you on the pages of
Yes.
Jumping into the Deep End. Come on and have some fun with us.
Yes.
and before everybody goes, I don't know if y'all did it or not. Please tell everybody where they can find you. Okay, where they can find you and find your stuff, your products, your services, how they can leverage and experience with you. Please do that one more time.
Well, you can find me on Facebook at Transformative Conversations and Solutions. My website is also Transformative Conversations and Solutions. You can find me on Instagram at Uniquely Brilliant 2. And yeah, that's where you could start to find me.
You can find me, you can find Gale Chapman, Mississippi Rucker on Facebook, but my author name, Camille St. Charles, Mississippi. You can discover me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. I'm sorry, I was having a moment. And TikTok. And you can go to my book's website and you can get an opportunity to read about me. You read an excerpt from the book. You can go to CamilleSt.CharlesMississippi.com. You can discover everything you'd like to know about the dessert novellas. And for my Roxanne series, you can go to the rseries.com. R, like R as in Roxanne, the rseries.com. There you get an opportunity to meet Roxanne. You get an opportunity to meet, I think, 12 different characters that are woven in and out of every story. They are in every book. And you get to meet me. Camille will tell you about herself. You get to see what Roxanne looks like and how she describes the chaos in her life. You can find me on Instagram. You can get a glimpse of me. You get to see some of my quirky outtakes and my funny little attitude on Facebook. But come and join us for Jumping into the Deep End. You'll really get an opportunity to have an earful. You won't be disappointed because it'll never be a dull moment.
No,
oh, well.
No.
Next time.
Hey, family. You can find me on Facebook, Bianca McAtee Thompson. Make sure you add the McAtee because I named my daughter after me. Her name is Bianca Thompson as well. So Bianca McAtee Thompson on Facebook. Instagram is Fabulous by Intention. And then also my author website is fabulousbyintention.com. So come holler at us. Definitely join us for Jumping into the Deep End. We are recapturing the forgotten woman. Love y'all.
Yes.
All right, so we out of here for now, and we will be back soon. We got a couple of weeks left. couple of weeks
Yes,
left, and y'all will see these
countdown.
beautiful
And
faces.
I just want to say that our
again.
show will be 45 minutes to an hour. We haven't quite, so it'll no more than an hour. But thanks for everyone who stayed with us during this time.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Knowledge Born. So appreciate it.
Yes,
Yes.
son.
Thank you.
All
Deep
right.
gratitude.
Yes.
We are out of here, y'all.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. That in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that. So no more. This man mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get
And
back
that
to the
motive
gritty
is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.